Hello. Hi, Donna. Hello,
Hi,
welcome
Kelly.
everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for being with me here today. So we are announcing something spectacular. We're having a new show come to Sacred Spiral Network, and it is Spiritual Ambition with Donna Bond. And we're diving into a little bit about the origins, who Donna is, and just talking about the show, which is debuting tomorrow. So it is coming up. We're really ramping into it. I'm excited. How are you today?
I'm excited, Kelly. You know, this has been a long time coming, and this term spiritual ambition like landed in my consciousness, and it's just a long time ago. And so it's so fun that I'm bringing it out to the world, and it feels a little bit scary, but here we go. So yeah, our launch is tomorrow at on February 22nd at 2:22 p.m. Pacific time, which feels really fun.
Exactly. So you selected 2:22 p.m. for all shows going forward. So you'll be on Tuesdays at 2:22. What is important other than it being a master number? What really made you go, I want the two energy?
I love this question. Well, you know, it's time for me to get out of my Aries oneness and come into partnership and more sacred partnership with the people that I am serving and engaging with. I actually had a really fun thing happen with a girlfriend of mine, and it was actually her idea to launch on February 22nd at 2:22 p.m. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, yes. You know, it was like one of those full body, the whole everything. Hi, Nancy. And it was a yes. And so we did it.
I love it. I love that you're using the built up energy of the numbers to amplify who you are and who the show is. And also, too, as well, just honoring what feels right. If I can, so please, can you go a little bit into sharing about yourself as a coach, as a spiritual counselor, as a healer? There's so many different things that you do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kelly. Well, you know, I've died 1,000 deaths and
Whoa.
I'll probably die 1,000 more. So I was a corporate marketing executive for almost 30 years. And when I turned 44, that's how old my father was when he died. And so all of a sudden, I was like looking death in the face. And I started asking these really big questions about what is my life about? Because I felt like I was on this massive conveyor belt. And, you know, it's so interesting. I knew exactly who I was when I was 17 years old. Like I had this inner knowing of this essence, right? Like this whole awareness that we are so much more than our thoughts, than our feelings, than our bodies, than our behaviors. Like I knew that, even though I didn't really have a context or a deeper understanding of it then. I mean, this was like back in 1984. You know, a lot of people watching this probably weren't even around then. But I did what I should. I followed the guidance of my family and went to school and got an education and got a bachelor's degree in hotel restaurant management and started a career in the hotel business. And I put one high heel shoe after the other on that corporate ladder and I just started climbing. And I got to the top, literally and figuratively, and I looked around And I thought to myself, well, all this isn't all that. And something happened inside of me then as I really started asking questions about what is my life about? And I took myself on a journey. On the advice of a psychic, I enrolled myself in a master's program in spiritual psychology. And that was a journey that I never could have expected, that made absolutely no sense at all whatsoever in the context of my life. It didn't make any sense with regards to what I did or like getting a professional certification or a master's degree in a category that at the time I knew very little about. So that was the beginning of the end of me as I knew myself to be, and sort of the shedding and the stripping away of parts of my personality that were in the way of the true expression of myself that wanted to come forward and that wanted to be seen and that wanted to be shared. And that was actually back in 2013. So it feels like a time ago because so much time has elapsed since the beginning of that time.
Yes.
To encapsulate it, after I earned my master's degree, I then went on to get a coaching certification and a facilitation certification. And last year, I became a guide for the Gene Keys. And I just keep opening myself to the divine and opening myself to life and opening myself to not knowing and to letting go and to falling into life as an extension of life itself. And what I've recognized is that's really what we are all here for. And it connects to my definition of spiritual ambition, which is humanity's inner quest to experience its divine nature. And no matter what it is we are chasing, or we think we're chasing, or we think we want, what we're really looking for is the divine. And I'm not talking about like some guy with a beard and a staff in the sky who looks like a man. I am talking about falling into the flow of life itself. And so spiritual ambition, these two words that like kind of don't belong together, feel like such a juxtaposition. They have landed in my consciousness. And when I first heard them together in this vast space, I recognized it as this inner propeller that is inside of me that is calling me towards my highest potential, my full becoming, calling me into who I have come to this life to be.
Absolutely. So you talk about going within and finding these answers. And so immediately, did you know you wanted to be a spiritual coach? So you're being you're being propelled towards, I'm doing the inner work, and wow, now I am unlocking this other side of me. When did you know I'm so excited, or this is it? Now I'm not just going to be a coach or a counselor. I'm going to be a spiritual coach.
Yeah, well, gosh, I love your question and I love the attunement of your question because this is such a fun answer. So I had the honor and the unique privilege of attending the University of Santa Monica physically in a classroom where there were almost 200 people in that room. And we would work in trios together as we were learning the principles and practices of spiritual psychology. And I was like in a session with someone, and it came out of my mouth that I wanted to be a spiritual teacher. And I was like,
Cool.
who said that? Like, who said that? There was literally this sort of shock and awe that my personality had to experience and understand, because when that came forward and came out of me, I was like, holy crap, what is that? And hi, Bernadette. Welcome. Hi, Sarah. I love your comments. My purpose and the divine angels have been supporting you. So grateful and so blessed. Beautiful. That's awesome, Sarah. I have no audio from you. I
Oh my
cannot hear
goodness.
anything.
Yes. Hey. Hey.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Here I
I didn't
am.
know if I was
Sorry.
having an internet challenge.
No, that was me. I needed to click it to do something, and then I did not unclick it. So we have some fun technical stuff. So when did you know? Because I was kind of bringing it full circle. Please, if anyone is finding from Donna that it is helping to reaffirm who they are, highlight their purpose or remembrances or motivations, please share. So Donna, whether or not you kind of want to touch on what Sarah said, or really just use that as a way to further talk about why you went to spiritual coaching. I'm really curious.
Thank you, Kelly. I got
Yes.
to be honest. I had a lot of resistance. I had a lot of resistance. And when I first became a coach, and actually, if you go online today, you'll see like it says Donna Bond Professional Coaching and Consulting. And it was very professional coaching and consulting. And this still, I like to think that I have one foot in each camp. And I support a lot of amazing, incredible women who are still very much in corporate land. And what's happening right now on the planet is that, like it or not, everyone is waking up. Everyone is coming into a greater level of awareness that they have this spiritual nature to them. And as I was actually sort of tricked into coaching by the universe. And it's a long story that we don't have the time for me to tell the whole long winding tale, but let's just
You were
surmise
tricked by
it
the
to say
universe. You were tricked by the
I was
universe.
tricked into it.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I was tricked by the universe, as I have been by many things, because I have an Italian American heritage. And so I sometimes have a thick head. I need like a poster board size announcement to fall out of the sky and hit me in the head to make sure I'm paying attention. And that's how I kind of got into coaching. And when I first became a coach, even though I was using this modality of spiritual psychology, I didn't really talk about that. I didn't talk about that to anybody until you were already like in a private room with me. And then we were talking about, well, what is your soul doing here? Why did your soul take embodiment and come here to this life to get born into that family with those parents at this time through that culture, right? So these are all of the things that help shape and support what I call our sacred soul plan. And our sacred soul plan is our spiritual curriculum. It is the learning path that we are on to realize the agenda, for lack of better definition, that our soul came here with. And, we're all here on this learning journey, and we all have a sacred soul plan. And me stepping forward as a spiritual coach, as a spiritual transformation leader, has been a scary and one step at a time journey for me, because I've had to work through my own stuff and my own process and my own limiting beliefs and my own limited framework. I had to take that apart so that I could step more fully into an expanded awareness of what's possible, not only for me, but for everyone. And so I am launching Spiritual Ambition with the intention of supporting and helping anyone who tunes in, any women. I gear towards women for a reason, and we can talk about that in a moment. But my intention is really to support anyone in their expansion. And we're going to create a sacred container. We're going to create a sacred space where we can actually do some inner work, because this is an invitation to tune in, to awaken that divine nature inside each one of us.
Absolutely. And with awakening the divine nature, whether it's the feminine or masculine, what did draw you to working with women?
Yeah, well, when I was in corporate land, I hung out with all the boys, and I was trying to be one of the boys. And I talked like one of the boys, and I tried to make my way in the world as one of the boys. And I know that there are millions and millions of women who can completely and totally relate to what I'm sharing. And we've entered a very auspicious time that we are making our way through, the time of the great change or the great awakening, this time that is happening on the planet right now, this mass global transformation of consciousness, where everyone is waking up to the truth that we are so much more than anything that we can possibly imagine in our limited framework. And there is this rising right now. We hear this term, the rising of the divine feminine. And really, the rising of the divine feminine to me is the reclamation of the both and. Because we've seen in our world what it looks like to swing all the way over to the masculine, right? And we have force, and we have war, and we have pushing and control and manipulation and drive. And those things are not bad, but we want to bring in more of the feminine, the yin, the flow, the receivership, the opening, the allowing. But we can't just swing the pendulum completely to the other side, because we'll just have a different set of problems. So my perception of the rising of the divine feminine is the opportunity for both and, the opportunity for the masculine and the feminine, right? And this isn't about gender. This isn't about sex. This is about polarities. This is about two sides of the same coin. And instead of making right or wrong one side of the coin over the other, this is recognizing that there is wholeness in all of it and fullness in all of it. And so I am of the view that women are leading us along the possibilities of the encompassing of the whole. And I've recognized in my own self the need for that authentic empowerment, for the need to be able to have that self-reliance and that self-sovereignty, and to be able to check with myself for my own truth, for my own understanding, for my own inner knowing, rather than placing my power and my energy outside of myself in something that has to validate that. And it's been through my own walking my own path that I have discovered the beauty of all of it and the beauty of being able to do it. And so I'm just really, really called to work with women at this time in the world. And I have no doubt men are going to tune in. And
Yes.
I'm inviting all the ladies.
Yes. What do you wish when you were going through all of your development, whether it was spiritually known or not? What do you wish you had within a mentor or within knowing of your divine feminine? Because you are a guide now, and I could imagine there's so many aha moments you've had, like, wow, like I get to do this for a person, I didn't have that. And we're at this transformational time, where so many more people are having access to things that they wish they had when they were younger.
Belief in myself, someone who believed in me, someone who held the possibility for me when I was unable to hold it for myself, someone who was able to see through my own BS and help me get out of my own way to stand forward in my own brilliance, in my own genius, in my own greatness, and to trust that whatever that is, it's all good. It's all perfect. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's just my authentic expression. And every single one of us has that authentic expression. And it wants to be brought forward, and it wants to be shared, and it wants to be seen. And I think having advocates who are advocating for the expression of your soul, the expression of our higher selves, and how we bring that through the personality and bring that out into the world is making the world a better place, because it's making the world more authentic.
Yeah.
And yeah, not so much pressure to try to be someone or something that you're not, and so many of us get caught up in the comparison game and competition. It's time to own our piece of it and our sacred thread of all of it, so that we can be in collaboration and understand that it's the sum of the parts that create the whole. Yet we want to stand authentically as who we are, as an individualized expression of the divine.
Many
Share the
people
light.
need Share the light. Many people need cheerleaders. We need to be reminded, or we need to have a focal point for our divine nature, because life is so complicated. It really is. We really need someone in our corner. Jennifer, she was mentioning, yes, I've been on my journey for almost 18 years. I've only recently had transformation, and suddenly in the last 20 years, it all makes sense. Been on a roller coaster. And so she's listing it, having two sons with multiple health conditions and disabilities. They are 23 and 19, and she lost her partner a couple years ago too. And he's pushing her to stay on her path. So that's like, life throws a lot at us. It really does. It really, really
Life
does.
throws a lot. It's my
And with
intention, Kelly, to give to give people some tools to be able to navigate these challenges and their struggles, because our struggles are part of our human journey. But when we can begin to relate to those struggles through a different lens, through a lens that is an invitation for empowerment, through a lens that is an invitation for self-trust, an invitation for growth, an invitation for our purpose to come through and to come forward, then we can make it through with more compassion, more understanding, more grace.
Yes, and I know within this community, um, there's a lot of people in the audience that are very open to spiritual work and working with their loved ones on the other side. And through this journey, like, we're really learning how to work with ourselves. So there's so many different healing modalities we can go into, but a lot of it is having the bravery and also the privilege of having sometimes a teacher or a mentor or a coach to help us on that journey to understand our power, because we have so much of it.
Yes. I don't know if there was a
Yes.
question in there, but I totally agree with what you're sharing.
Yes, it's a mixture. Like, it's a true statement, but also, I think that's something that's really important to me that you facilitate within the spiritual community. People want to grow. They want to have experiences. They want to open up their energy, and I'm just saying that in the most general terms. There's so much more that they long for too, and they are believers, but they don't necessarily look to themselves first as they're developing. They're looking outwards to go, how can I experience this and be accurate and be real? And your specialty is helping to give these people who are looking for answers the ability to understand, I can wield it. I can wield it.
Yes. I'm not going to solve anybody's problems,
Oh, yeah.
but I can help support you to find the answers inside of yourself. And when we can begin looking through the lens of our higher self, the lens of our soul, we can understand that our struggles and our challenges are gorgeous stepping stones that are placed before us to help shape us so that we can shape the world that we want to live in. And as we each do our own inner work, that then ripples out into the field, into the collective. And this is how the world continues to evolve.
It does. And I'm really excited to have Spiritual Ambition and you hosting, because I truly believe that whether someone is working on their spiritual business, where I know a lot of people are, they're figuring out how to work with the business side of things, sure. But there's all these people that get to then experience the focal point of understanding what they're capable of. And it's just in the comments too. Ernest is, I don't know how to harness such any such power. And if that really exists to me, it's the beginning, it overwhelms me. And truly, love sustains growth and healing. and people who are needing that side, that practicality and that immense resonance that you can carry, tuning into them intuitively, but having that practicality to ground everything. I'm very excited for this show.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm excited for it too. And I just want to invite anybody who's watching, tune in. Let's tune in together. And we're going to create a sacred space together. And I'm going to call in the light and call in the angels. And we're going to be supported from the inside out. Yeah. I don't know how much more to share.
No, that's perfect. It's perfect. That's the intention. We're calling in the light. And it's going to take us all the way into tomorrow. And please join us for the 2:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be her official time going forward. But we're kicking it off on Saturday on the 22nd to honor the 2:22 energy, right? And so the every other week, because she's going to be bi-weekly, Spiritual Ambition will be every other week on Tuesdays. So you will join us tomorrow, but then Tuesdays will be the true day. The twos and the trues and the Tuesday.
Yeah. And our first Tuesday will be 225, 225, which is also kind of fun from a numerology standpoint.
It is. It really is.
You could probably tell us more about that.
I could get all into it. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, it's a 6-4-6 day. There you go. So that is all about service and getting down to the root of it. And I could tell you why.
I love it. I love it.
But 6 is the maternal and the divine feminine. It really is. 6 is the maternal divine feminine, and it's the matriarch energy. It's the healer energy. It's the mama bear energy. And 4, when it's like a little kiss of it, as you will tomorrow, is all about being the teacher and having people understand that they can build. But they have to focus first. So it's very fascinating, right? Yes. So don't get me going with numerology, Donna. Don't get me going with numerology. Yes. So please, everybody, we're going to sign off for now, but join us tomorrow. We have a lot of people giving hearts and halos and saying they're going to be there.
Thank you,
everyone. They can't wait. Vivian says, what a gift. Sarah and Jennifer are saying they're going to be there. Jennifer, we love numbers here. And she said it at 11:33 a.m. Look at that.
Of course.
And then Ernest, we welcome you if you're able to make it, Ernest. Come on by, watch the replay, everybody. You can always tune in with us live, but also watch the replay. It will be up on Donna's YouTube channel, Sacred Spiral 2 as well. But you can find Donna as well as these videos through all her social media. And that will be listed too as well if you need to find her. So with that said, thank you so much, Donna, for giving everybody a taste of what's to come tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward for it tomorrow with you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm very excited. And thank you everyone for being here. Blessings. Join me tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Take care, and we will see you then. Until then, go with love, light, and luck, and don't forget to live. We're sharing the light tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.